Hello. Now I want to tell you about the book I've read. I've read a little bit more than 120 or 30 pages. So this book is called Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. So here you can see that uh, it is in English. Yes, it is in English. Okay. So, Charlotte Bronte. She was born on April 21st in 1816 in Thornton, in the UK, in the United Kingdom. She's from England. She's an English poetess, and she's one of the most famous representative of realism and romanticism, and of course, so this Charlotte Bronte, and with her Jane Eyre, is credited to giving birth to feminism in literature. She was one of the first women who wrote about the woman who was also very strong as men are. Okay, yes. This is actually a novel. Firstly, this book was published in 1847. 1847. 2 years later. 2 years later, from the World War II. Yes, 1847. Firstly, it was published, and actually, so this book about Jane Eyre. Yes, the book is called Jane Eyre because the main hero's name is Jane Eyre. She's 10-year-old girl. She's very smart. She's beautiful. However, when she was very little, when she was 10 years old, so in this book she's already 10 years old, but before her parents unfortunately has passed away, her mother and also her father, and she had an uncle from her mother's side, her mother's older brother, and so he decides to bring up her, and so she starts living with her uncle. However, her uncle, he because of the illness, due to the illness, he passes away, unfortunately. And in Cinderella, there is also very bad. She has a bad auntie. So in this book also, Jane Eyre, she has such an auntie. So her uncle dies, and she is left with her auntie and bad cousins. Yes, she has more than 2 cousins, 3 or 4, and then so she kind of so they all of them are rude to her. There was one servant living with them, and only she was kind to her. Only with her she could talk to for hours. Only she was telling her about the life, about how the world is, how the world looks like. She was giving advice. Yes, she was kind of replacing her parents. Yes, and at one one day. So Jane and her auntie start arguing. So her aunt was so rude to her. She was really strict to Jane. However, she was really kind and pretty to her own children, but only was rude and like she just hated Jane. And so if she wanted something, if she was calling only Jane, even though she had her son next to her, she was asking only Jane to help her, I mean to do some